Hey, what's up, ladies and gentlemen? Sean here with Blue Ridge Silverhound. I hope everyone's having a great start to your Friday. We're going to take a look at fancy serial numbers in this particular video, and I do apologize about my voice. After, quite a bit of time thinking that I was okay, I ended up with allergies again. So please do bear with me as we take a look at some of the more notable stuff that's come out of circulation. A lot of great stuff. The market, again, continuing to recognize that a lot of these notes being picked up on the secondary market are some of the best of the best. And there's plenty more to look out for out there. So just to let everybody know, as you get into this as either a collector or a reseller, there is a wide range of different wants and needs from the market and from this particular segment of the hobby. And we cannot disclude all of the inexpensive notes, that sell for 5, 10, 15 bucks. That's what makes it a very approachable part to the hobby, is that you can set a budget that is going to be a lot cheaper and just as fulfilling as, say, spending nothing but $100, caliber type of collectible notes. There's a wide range of different budgets that can be fulfilled right from doing this hobby. And, a lot of people I've talked to are having fun with it. It doesn't matter what the budget level is. So the notes that we're going to see here, we have about 15 of them to talk about. They're all going to be raw. We don't talk about graded notes. Okay, the biggest reason why is that by the time you invest $30, $40 to grade each note, it doesn't necessarily add more value to the notes. As a matter of fact, most people end up losing money thinking that they have to grade everything under the sun. And I'm telling you, about 99% of the content out there does not need to be graded. So, whatever you're hearing online, myself included, I tell folks, if you don't have to grade it, don't. Because you're going to end up pocketing more money at the end of the day as a result. So we're going to take a look at our first one here. This is a $2009 bill with what we call a low serial number. This one is 212. Typically, you're going to have your biggest premiums on notes, low serial numbers that are 3 digits or 5 leading zeros. Some people say, well, a 4 digit serial number is also low. Well, yeah, kind of low, but there are more of those in a full 96 million run of, say, dollar bills than 3 digit low serial numbers. As a matter of fact, there's 10 times more than a 3 digit serial. So this particular one here ended up selling for $74.99. The note is actually in really nice shape. It does have a few vertical folds, which means it's been folded in half, stuck into a wallet or a billfold or something like that. But this best represents a note that a lot of people would have no qualms about adding to their collection. And let's also keep in mind, this whole market is also predicated on some other external things like angel numbers and various other different types of things as well that people do collect into, that also play a huge role in what the market price is on a lot of these. The next one that we have here is a note, a dollar bill. 2017A is what the series date is on there. This is referred to as a true binary. Now, in the hobby, when people say, oh, that's a binary serial number, traditionally that refers to any two numbers in some sort of pattern on a serial number. It could be a 7 and a 9, it could be a 3 and a 1, or what have you. True binaries are zeros and ones. This is what actual binaries are. I believe it's a computer term, if I'm not mistaken. But this one right here is a highly desired note. As you can tell, the $59.99 price tag indicates the value, even in this condition where you can see, it's not the best looking note. It's a theoretical maybe VF25 in grade. if we are going to numeralize it. But all in all, it's an overall clean note, and people in the hobby that collect fancy serial numbers, they're okay with notes that look like this. So there are a number of different combinations of true binaries that you can find out there. This one right here is a no kind of like descript layout. It's not a radar. It's not anything specific other than just zeros and ones on the serial number. The next one that we have here, a great follow-up, and this one was actually sold by our friend Sam with Kingdom Currency. You can find him on Facebook and YouTube. Is something that today we call a true trinary. So we know true binaries are zeros and ones. True trinaries are zeros, ones, and twos. And this has one of each of those numbers represented on the serial number. So this is a relatively new type of a new archetype of fancy serial number, I would say. That is beginning to pick up some steam and desirability in the marketplace. This particular note, really nice shape. It's got some vivid inks, great paper, and it's sold for $35 right here by Kingdom Currency, who I don't know if he is anymore, but he used to be the number one eBay seller of these type of notes until his banks, told him like, hey, you can't withdraw 25 grand out at a time per week of dollar bills. So they kind of nerfed him on that, and as a result has affected his kind of business on eBay. But he has an incredibly good business on Facebook and YouTube as well. Our next one here, this is kind of like our regular binary. This one has zeros and threes on this $2003 bill. It's sold for $23.61. Again, that's very reflective on the changed type from a true binary to a regular binary. And this is more on the high side. High side being like the top of the curve. It's not overpriced by any means. It's right in the wheelhouse. This one's sold by Ronald JH, which I believe is probably the biggest seller of fancy serial numbers today on eBay. This one, 11 bids, lots of bidding activity on this one. Very nice note. It's a from the seller Ron said this is a choice gem example and another great one that did sell. Ronald also sold this one here. This is what they call a flipper. He even threw in 4 in a row, 4 zeros in a row, but flippers are 6s and 9s and zeros. Okay, all three of these numbers can be flipped upside down and they would read the same because the font style is the same for those. Not a big sale here, $9.50. He did charge separately for shipping. Flippers can be desirable if they're arranged in a certain way that meets other criteria, like low serial numbers, or perhaps if it's just binaries like 6s and 9s. That'll lead to a note that's worth more money in the marketplace. Very nice note. It's a $2 bill. $2 bills with fancies on them are quite popular today. Here's another one by Ronald. They call this radar, and he even threw in the word trinary, and it's true to that. So it's mirrored, right, split in the middle of the serial number. So the first 4 numbers read exactly the same, mirrored to finish out the serial number string. This one right here is a $2 bill again. This one sold for $28.88. 8 total bids here. Great looking note. Choice, crisp, uncirculated again is what the assessment on grade is here. And again, grade to an extent does matter. But if it's a rare serial number, people will still pay for notes that are less than perfect. Our next one here, again, from Ronald. It's a 4-digit. He didn't put down low serial on there, which is a great keyword to add. Regardless, he added in mini repeater. So the 4 digits is 2929. All right, so it's half of a super repeater. This is on a 1999 $5 bill, non-colorized type. Beautiful note. Pretty nice price tag at $69.68 with 15 bids. Choice, crisp, uncirculated is the note grade here on this one. And our first 7 in a row, or 7 of a kind note. This one meets both criteria of both. 7 in a row twos with one lonely 5 there. So close to a perfect solid. This one right here, the dollar bill has been used and abused. It's passed through many hands until some eagle-eyed person, doesn't have to be a collector, looked down and saw that this one has a buttload of twos in there. This one sold for $75, 18 bids. Wow, very active sale here on this one. Here's another binary, ones and threes. This one's sold by A Currency Guy for a buy it now of $17.99. The note is pretty well worn. It's not a very high grade note. It's got some soiling on there as well. Sometimes if you don't care on making the sale immediately, try putting it up as a buy it now. And these are the type of collectibles that you could charge for just a plain white envelope, first class shipping, to keep the shipping price low. But overall, really good sale here on this one. Pretty neat one here as well. Now we know a true ladder is 8 digits in a row that ladder up. So 1 through 8, 0 through 7, 2 through 9, for example. This is what we call a close but no cigar version. Now, you may not get the whole Cuban cigar, but you may get a really nice quality cigar nonetheless. So it has that 5 to start it out, and it reads 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 in order ascending. Still managed to sell this one for $100. Really great sale, and more of a testament to folks to really look out for these and not completely dismiss it because it's not a full 8-digit ladder. All right, and this note here, pretty well circulated again. Not the prettiest, but it did have its time in the sun, and it did command a $100 bill. I mean, I would take that kind of flip anytime, anywhere. Here's another radar, probably more used to what you and I would look for. It's 0614 4160. It's not the prettiest radar, but it is what it is. $15.99. Buy it now. Hit on this one. Grade wise, pretty well worn again. Which a note that's probably 6-7 years old. Looks the part here. Here's another great binary, but I call this grouped binary. This means that with the 2 different numbers on there, the numbers are respectively grouped together very neatly, and which makes it more visually appealing. And as a result, prices are going to be a little bit higher, and the desirability too. This one sold for $23.50 with 2 bids, and the note looks awesome. They only have one picture. I would say it's probably an XF condition piece. Nice, not first time seller, but a relatively new seller on the platform. Did really well on this one. A couple bids too. Here's another true binary, but this one is also grouped together with a radar. It is not a rotator because the number 1 digit, when you put them upside down, is not a number 1 because of the design type of that font. So I know this person put rotator in there, incorrect, and I wouldn't even dare put that on there because that could lead to a potential return if the item is not as described. What it really does is it gives the buyer an out, and you don't want that. You need to be as truthful as possible on your listings. Great sale here, $130, 13 bids. That is a really solid amount of money. The note looks nice, crispy, uncirculated as well. The pictures aren't like close up, so it's hard to assess, but yeah, pretty cool one there. Another binary, this time 7s and 8s. Pretty big sale price here for what it is, because you have 2 of the most desirable single digits on one serial number. Sevens and eights are lucky all across the globe. Sevens here in the U.S. and Northern America, eights, on the east side of the world. It's just very desirable. This one right here, it looks pretty good. I don't see a lot of circulation wear, a little bit here and there, but a very nice high grade collectible, $26 with 2 bids. Here's a few of the big sales. Brand new seller here, zero feedback. This is what they call a millions note. So usually it's either 1 or 2 digits, followed up by 6 or 7 zeros. This one right here, $89.88. That is actually a very good price for this note. 22 bids. I've seen a few of these sell. Usually the BEP does pull out what they call the changeover serial numbers, so it's any note that ends in 4 nines or 4 zeros. They usually get pulled out of the sheets after they're cut. So this one did escape. It's a new note, 2021 series. And very nice high grade piece, probably AU in condition. Great sale here as well. Here, ladies and gentlemen, is an actual super repeater in the flesh. 8-9 repeated over times 4 on the same serial number. It's not jumbled in a which way. 2013 $1 bill, sold for $95 with 20 bids. Check things out there. Beautiful, beautiful serial number. Not the prettiest looking note, but overall still very collectible, and in a high grade, crisp, and circulated. The same serial number pattern on a new note is about $150 to $250. And then finally, the ultimate meme note is this $5 bill. It says 420. It's a low serial number. 420 for all of you Snoop Dogg lovers out there, and also people that just love, the good old green leaf. Anything like we call these meme numbers. 420, hate to say it, 69 as kind of like a sexual type thing, and a few others. These are all quite desirable in the secondary market. So this one, no pun intended, he was asking $420 for this note, and it turns out it sold for $260 as the best offer there. So pretty big sale. I used 130 point to check out what the buy it now sale price is here. And that's it. That's my list of great looking fancy serial number sales of the last 24 to 36 hours. Again, very active sales period. Even through the summertime, people are looking to buy. And if you found it, you are well within your right to resell these and make however much money you feel is right for you. So I hope you enjoy this one. I'm your host, Sean, with Blue Ridge Silverhound. Have a great, great time looking through your notes for some of these fancies. Enjoy the hobby, and I'll see you next time. Take care.